You ready? All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the City of Glens Falls Water and Sewer Commission Board meeting. It's Tuesday, the February 6th, 1 p.m. We open up the meeting with our first agenda item is always public participation. I don't see anybody here in our offices for public participation. Peter, will you let us know if you see somebody hop online and they'd like to, and we can come back to it. 2 is a stormwater moment. Our stormwater runoff. You want to review it with us, please?
Basically, with stormwater runoff, we try to encourage people to keep pet waste, leaves, fertilizers, and stuff out of the drain system, because it all does end up going to the canal, which ends up in the river. That includes washing cars and driveways, motor oil leaks from vehicles, and also just general trash and cigarette butts. All that adds to pollution in the system and into the environment. That's all I have on it, right? Yep.
Runoff is different than our wastewater system, and we want to keep them separate as best we can, right?
Yes.
Let's see, number 3, billing issues. We had a billing issue from 44 Harrison Avenue. In your packet, you see the letter to Adam from Patty Zimmerman. Anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts?
Basically, this customer had looks like a toilet leaking for an extended amount of time. Her bill is 4 times higher than average at $893 for the quarter. Her average bill was the minimum. I believe it was $218 or to $230 on the average. So she's looking for relief, I believe, to go back to what her average was for this quarter, and she mentions a one-time relief.
She's been a customer for quite a period of time. It's nothing new. She's nothing new. Do we know?
No, there's nothing unusual here. She said that they found, she lives alone, and they found a toilet running. They supposedly fixed it, but then they found that it wasn't completely fixed and it kept leaking, which just racked it up for the entire quarter.
Did we get a chance to look at, is it true that she normally is at the lower, or is that just self-reported?
No, we have the numbers in there. She usually is at the lower section of the on everything.
Comments, thoughts?
Did we go out to see if it's fixed in a more permanent way that or offer expertise in that way, or no?
That I do not know. But she says it looks like it is fixed at this time.
She shut it off.
Yeah. Let's see.
We have a history of this, right? We have a history of giving a one-time grace.
We do.
Something like this, if it's uncommon and they've supposedly fixed the problem.
She made an attempt to fix it, which we gotta applaud to a certain extent.
Yep.
Yeah, I give a motion for the one time here. I just would want to make sure that she doesn't try it for a second time, because oops again. It's very easy too. Not faulting her.
Right. It's quite the running faucet.
If we still do like little house swing buys,
We generally do. I don't know if it was performed on this or not, off the top of my head.
just nice not to hear from her again in a pleasant way.
Yeah, her usage was a year's worth of usage of the quarter.
Right.
So it was running pretty good for that period of time.
Yeah. Somebody to check if she's been, I don't remember the name, I don't think we've given her relief previously that I can recall.
I don't believe we have either. I don't recognize it.
Could we make a motion to the fact if we could do a bit of investigation on it, and if she hasn't been given relief once we...
How long? How long, 3 years? Say in the last 3 years at least?
Any time of that.
She hasn't?
Yeah, we can check that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So,
She hasn't had relief.
I understand your resolution might be to approve this one-time forgiveness and charge her the rate of the minimum, which is what her typical usage is.
230.
As long as she hasn't had relief within the last 3 years.
Sounds good.
Reasonable. And could we, so do we have a motion? We have a motion?
Well, the relief would be 663.
I was gonna say I need to get an amount. What is it?
663.25.
Okay.
That's how much we.
663.25.
That'd bring her down to 230
As no relief
with
in
the
the
10
last 3
which she's been
years.
paying.
So we have a motion, do we have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Could we also ask somebody to stop in within the next month or so, just to check and make sure that it's not still leaking? Just to help.
Right, the meter reader go by or somebody.
Meter, yeah, somebody to check, make sure we
Good
don't,
idea.
she doesn't have a problem that she is again, and we don't have her back in front of us in the next quarter.
I'll make sure that happens.
Great. Any other question? Nope, there you go. We have a resolution. We're set there. The next are our regular resolutions. Anybody have any questions about these resolutions in front of you out of the packet? Or otherwise, I'll go through them one at a time. So one
Did we hear
is,
any follow-up on the city's claim? Or their claim, our claim on the city's insurance? On this one was,
for which one?
the one near Steve's place on Broad Street.
I have not heard anything.
I
I don't
have
know
not.
if she said,
They can take up
understood
the-
that they said the claim has been sent to the city, but we're just waiting to hear from them. And then it said something about, I read something that said it's older, the city may, the insurance may deny it because of the age of the claim.
Right.
They have 90 days from
90
the
days?
insurance getting it, yeah, so we might not hear anything more.
We haven't heard anything back?
Not that I know of, and it comes to the clerk's office, so I haven't heard anything.
Okay. But the sleeping,
Sleeping
Possible
dog
white
lie
fly.
at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Okay. A is an approval of the minutes of the January 2nd, 2024 meeting. Motion?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. B is an approval of the minutes of the January 16th, 2024 special meeting.
So moved.
Do you have a second? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye, thank you. C is approval of the warrant. Motion? Question?
Make a motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. D is 747-FR 2000 Classic Trailer Mounted High Pressure Sewer Cleaner System. Any questions?
we got a vehicle that'll tow that, correct?
Yeah, we do. We have vehicles that can tow that. We've got a 2-year-old F-350 that will tow that weight.
I'm
And-
sure you did the work before you ordered it, but.
Yes.
What's why not have two of these instead of a purpose-built in a trailer like we've got? What do you gain with the full vehicle?
The larger scale unit can be used on regular large projects as they go along.
Oh, and this
but
is
you
physically
need-
not as
It's not as large, it's just
Okay.
a trailer mounted unit. The problem is with the larger unit is you need a CDL.
right.
And we're all struggling to find CDL drivers. With a trailer mounted piece that we don't have to worry about CDL, they can just pull it around. They've been borrowing South Glens Falls while ours was, our larger unit was out of service. And it worked very well for them. It also helps getting down some of these side streets and stuff where the larger unit might be blocking majority of the road, where you can pull a trailer up and work on that. You can leave the trailer parked there and take the truck if you need to.
Mhm.
So it gives them a bunch of options that way.
Well, how much deficient is it from a large unit? You talking like 2/3 of or half? Or
I'd almost say it's about a half
Oh, okay.
on it, because our unit doesn't have a huge tank on the back, 'cause it's only a single axle instead of a dual axle.
Mhm.
So this unit was probably about a half capacity. I think we're using 6-inch hose on the larger unit. This might be a 4-inch hose.
Mm, okay.
So this wouldn't be something that we would be doing hydro excavating with or anything like that. There'd be more catch basins, sewer blocking, stuff like that, jetting,
Sure.
where it would work better that way.
Let's take the place of the jetter truck.
I believe we're gonna keep the jetter truck
Okay.
and still utilize it when we can, but this will help take some of the workload off the jetter truck.
Yep.
Help it last longer and it costs a whole hell of a lot less.
Yes,
That's
we
the
can- we
reason
can
why.
Move it around
Yeah,
ourselves.
right?
Yes.
The movability, like all the things you just described, it seems cool to have a trio of these or something, but it, you know, without the capability of what the large one does offer, I get,
Yeah, I believe our jetter truck was about $300,000 6 years ago,
yeah,
so that price most likely has gone up significantly since then.
absolutely. Yeah.
Probably a lot easier to repair too.
Yes. And if one unit's out, we still have another unit, so we don't have to borrow from surrounding communities and stuff.
And finally, just to note, it's, Bill's choosing to use ARPA money that we set aside for water and sewer, so it'll come out of that money, not out of your operating budget.
Not to play a lawyer, but is this a single source or is there multiple proposals?
That I do not know, but I believe they went with multiple proposals.
Sheila?
I believe it's on contract. We
It's
found
on
out-
contract.
Oh, it's on contract.
Yeah.
Okay, state contract.
Oh, it's okay.
I think you're right.
We found out an contract that the city was authorized to buy from.
Okay. No, as long as you're piggyback, you meet the public bidding requirements, that's all I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's what
Yeah,
Debbie-
I had a
it's
conversation
what
with
Debbie
Bill about
was-
it previously. He said that they would make these in a batch, so we need to get it ordered. So that would make sense for the state contract.
Okay.
Would make a batch of them. No further, I'll move the motion.
Motion. We have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And then the last one is the distillation digestion system. Say that 5 times fast. Let's see, also out of ARPA money.
Actually, that was a typo. That is not ARPA money. We
Oh.
did budget for it this year,
Okay.
so it is budgeted. We do total cajolic nitrogen and ammonia testing upstairs. The cost of the unit's $22,000. If we sent this out, these samples, it costs us about $11,000 to $12,000 a year to run these samples. So in 2 years, the unit will basically be covered instead of sending it out. We still have the capability to send stuff out if there is a problem, but the present unit is old. It's been fixed multiple times, leaks have been fixed, and it's just reached the point where it needs to be replaced.
So take out the resolution where it's out of distillation, out of the ARPA money and come out of your regular budget, part of
Yes,
the
sir.
regular budget.
So,
With that amendment, we've got a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes, second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. And then discussions, electrical issues.
So we tried to change over to the other line on Tuesday last week, and the switch burned out on the other line. It's the controlling mechanism where we actually turn it, and it does the mechanical, activates the mechanical system switch. That shorted due to age. We've got high voltage electric service on it. We're hoping to have a replacement next week so we can get off that line for National Grid and get to the other line. But it just emphasizes the issues we're having with our electrical system all the way around down here.
It's the exact same reason that we're looking and doing our electrical replacement work, right? We had,
Yes.
of course, we had to switch over something National Grid or Finch Prine was doing, right? And that's how we burnt our last one out. Is it the same thing?
Correct.
Burn out?
Yes. Oh, the other
Oh,
side.
oh, okay.
We have to take the plant dark for 1 to 2 hours to fix this. So when we get everything together, we will shut the plant power off and just free flow through the system, which we can do that for that amount of time. Won't affect our permit or anything else because it's not UV system. We're not running our UV system at this time. This will be the 3rd time in 3 years we've had to go dark for an extended amount of time, not just switching. We do have surveyors here. You've seen the markers all over when you came in. That's part of the electrical system upgrade. They're finding all the piping and everything so we can ensure our proper placement and line running when we get to that point. I believe we're still on track for, is it 60%, Jeremy, is next? I believe that's April.
60% of the study done?
The study.
60% of the
60% design drawing.
design
Yes,
done.
that's it.
100% would be ready for bid.
Yeah. So we are moving forward with it. It's just slow. There's a lot of stuff in the ground here and a lot of stuff we're looking at. One of the main things we're trying to look at is taking our switching equipment. We now have, we come in, we go to the blower building, we have a lot of switching equipment in there. It's very tight. It does not meet modern specifications for distances. So we want to move a lot of that equipment out into a building outside where we have the switch gear and then come in from there. That would open up, that'd meet the requirements we have in the blower building and give us a little more room in that area as we start taking stuff out of there. So that was one of the large discussions we had last time. Other than that, that's all we have on that.
And just so the board knows, the reason we're switching was, I don't know if anybody mentioned this before, but National Grid is doing some maintenance at their Spire Falls facility, and all the big users in the area gotta get off the one line and onto the other. So it's not like we're doing this just
You picked
just
it
for
yourself,
something to do,
yeah.
right? So I just wanted to let everybody know.
Thanks for telling us.
It's been a year since we switched lines last, so.
Right. Do we try to change, in a perfect world where we didn't have this problem, would you normally try to switch lines every once in a while? Or would you leave it always on one and second lines for emergencies?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just redundant lines, and in the event of an emergency or maintenance such as this, it's there.
Gotcha.
Probably wouldn't be bad to exercise the equipment every now and again, but with that, you also run these risks.
I remember the fuse that I think it was you called it a fuse, I know it's an entire switch, but it was like 11,000. What do we think this one's gonna cost us?
Yeah, what was the bill for the last time? I think it was.
Between 11,000 and 15,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
This, if it's just a switch, what we think it is when I went and I turned the switch, the contactors did not close fast enough. And when it happened, it arced internally. It's DC arc. So it just cooked it instantly. They said the lubrication, they weren't properly lubricated or they hadn't been lubricated in a while. That was the problem, and it was difficult to turn. So the other one that they worked on was flawless. We had no problems with. So we're hoping to get this repaired and hopefully everything lasts. And right now we have a tendency not to switch lines. The plant doesn't like it, and the equipment out there doesn't like it either. Because after we switched lines, we had 2 PC cards and 1 press break. One of the computers up there didn't want to reset. Our TV's not happy anymore. We have a new TV coming, and it was all on surge protection. So we try not to switch too much. And this is something we're going to bring up to the electrical people Wright Pierce when we meet with them. Why is it when we switch we get these surges? We know we're going to get them. Is there something we can do to prevent this from happening as we go forward?
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Plant vehicle.
I've been educating myself on electrical vehicles, educating myself on a New York policy. One of the issues we have down here is we cannot put a charging station in at the site at this time with our electrical system. We have no problem with the policy. It's just we have no place to charge it. That is on site. We would have to put it someplace in the city to charge it and then go get it.
Don't we have a
When we-
charging station right outside the gate?
No, we don't, sir. We didn't put anything down here because of the electrical issues we've had. We didn't want to put any more load onto our grid down here. We intend on, with the design of installing electrical vehicle outlets at the building that will be put inside the fence line going into the future. But at this time, there's no way for us to charge a vehicle down here. Which will be something I believe Bill's gonna discuss with the mayor, going into the future on this.
Was there an issue with the amount of distance we could get out of it?
It's, even if we put it in, it was a discussion of where do we put in, what MCC do we come off of? Most of our breaker boxes here are full. We have some openings on the solids building, but getting it from the solids building all the way downstairs to a location is difficult, to
No, I
say
meant
the
the
least.
travel distance of the vehicle.
Oh, the travel distance of the vehicle, that was discussed.
Well, even if it was at half capacity and it would make it 250 miles, it'd make it 125 miles under extremely cold weather. And so 125 miles in a 4-mile square city is kind of, even if you have to go up to the upper watershed, should
right.
cover that. So there's no problem with that.
Oh, okay.
The concern was every once in a while you might take it to a training in Syracuse. And in that case, I think the council would be fine with approving some, funds for a rental for when you have to go to a training outside, as opposed to not buying a vehicle. But if there's no place to charge it,
Yeah.
and it's in this year's budget, it's another thing, right? And we're probably 2 years away from actually, right? Because we've got the study done. We'll have it 60% done, which is ready to fill out the applications.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
About to bid.
But you're right. I believe we're working with the designer to incorporate, or at least plan for charging stations as
Yeah.
part of that project.
Sure.
But by the time they're implemented, let's say a couple of years.
And that's lightning fast, as
Yeah,
one
it's
person
in the
said to me,
ballpark,
right? Yeah,
though.
it's in the
Stay
ball.
out of
Yeah, all
the
right. So, that might be something that Bill needs to bring back to the Common Council to see, because their goal, as the state is mandating, that we try to make efforts to become a greener city. So it certainly would make sense that a vehicle that
It
that you
makes
can,
good
it's
sense.
a good,
Mhm.
it's what we've done for building and codes. It's what we're going to do for at least one of the vehicles in the fire department, right? It should be a goal here, but not having a charging station makes it a little more difficult. So.
It kind of hurts.
Yeah, it does. It kind of hurts. And I don't think that, that's a new concern, right? That's
Is that going to be part of the electrical upgrade? If we can include that in, put a couple of charging stations out
That's
Yeah,
there?
that's what
our
Jeremy's
goal.
saying
That's
now.
what we want to
Yeah.
do.
Because then eventually some people are going to
Yep.
come in and going to spend the day doing classes or doing something.
Yeah.
We need to.
Mhm.
We put 12 charging stations around the city already.
Mhm.
And we, at one time, this was a location, but probably for the reasons that you just mentioned is why they're not here, right? So we have one at various locations
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah, I
city.
see it
Yeah,
now.
so.
And we have discussed like the meter installer, perfect for an electric vehicle, stays in the city. Just once again, there's 2 charging points up at the DPW building. One is being used every night,
Mhm.
and actually we have private citizens using the other one at times.
All right,
I've
good.
gone by and see people sitting there reading a book, charging.
Couldn't
their
get the state to pay for them unless they were also accessible to the public. And so we have them like in different locations throughout, but the one at DPW had to be available for other people too. And you could put it, like you said, a gate here, one side maybe for just the water and sewer, and then one side for the public if they wish to come down, do some fishing while they charge there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go for a walk on the canal. or-
that's right. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I don't believe, do we have any personnel to discuss?
We went out for a truck driver / plant attendant. Internally in the city, we had 2 people interested. One has accepted. So we're getting that moved forward, combining 2 positions So when the person's not driving or if there's nothing to drive, they can work on the facility in here. Painting, mowing the lawns, trimming bushes, whatever needs to be done that way. So we have filled one of those slots. And I had a operator give his notice of retirement. His last day is end of April. He'll be leaving in May though, taking his vacation to work that out. We posted internally and then we'll go outside if we need to.
To Judy? Judy
Yes.
posted it to her? Right.
Yes, sir.
We also had an applicant, a college student actually, who has some experience in GIS. Looks like they would be a good hire, except that for the full position that we have, they would not be qualified because it requires, say, 4 years experience. So we're going to look at creating an assistant, the one level down, like an entry level GIS position, and make sure that I believe there's a civil service position there. Then we'll talk to the council personnel committee. Judy will put it on their agenda, see if they would be amenable to us hiring that assistant position and then unposting the full GIS position that we have. And as long as we don't fill both, I don't think there will be a problem. And still, this person will be very useful for us, and be great to fill it. So it's where we're at with that. Just wanted you to know.
What's item C on there, Mo?
What was that?
On the agenda, item C. Water main breaks and
Yeah, we skipped that one. 4C.
4C.
I don't have 4C. Oh, you know what? I got another agenda. Sorry. Water main breaks and pressure issues. Sorry, I apologize. I brought an old version of the agenda. So, C, you want to talk about C?
I do not know the water main breaks and pressure. I know we had a breakout by Windy Ridge area on Sanford.
Oh,
They were out there working with that. I know that did create some low pressure issues. We also had a fire hydrant destroyed out there. Created a few more issues.
run into, right, car. And so the pressure, we've had one resident complain over in the Flandreau area, Mason area, saying that they're having pressure drops. That's the first complaint really we've had. Well, we know that we have long-term pressure issues there, that we've got 4-inch pipes that are 70 years old that need to be replaced. We actually, it was in our top list of, and they didn't score very high, if I understand it correctly, on the CFA. So, but I think it just means that please let us know if you know of any other complaints about pressure issues there and where they are, and we'll start to look into it. Maybe if there is a problem like that, they might score higher. I don't know. Right? It just didn't score very high, right?
Yeah, it was, the way we understood it was more of a water flow issue as opposed to a water quality issue. And the water quality
Scores higher.
scores a little higher than a deficit in fire flow units.
So Bill thought it might have something to do, this recent complaint, with the water breaks that have been going on and the hydrant issue. So we'll keep an ear and eye on it. See.
I do have one thing to add, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
So 2 weeks ago, our hot water system here needed to be emergency repaired. We lost all the on-demand units. Pretty much, they are burning themselves out because we are using it for processed water also. So we're looking that we're going to have to replace the unit, and we're looking at a more robust commercial unit. Right now, we have a quote for $16,000 for the parts for this. So it would be a separate boiler an indirect fire hot water tank, very similar to what we used in the past. That system ran for like 35 years before we replaced this. With the newer system, it was more energy efficient, but with the constant use, it seems to struggle. Unfortunately, our labor cost estimate was $35,000. We're looking for new quotes for labor
Yeah.
on that. I thought that was extremely high myself. So we're going to try to get that labor cost down on this unit. The problem is it's such a small job, dropping a furnace in, hot water tank, and doing the plumbing. They charge more for the labor. But we're going to look around, see what we can find on that. We just wanted the board to be aware that we've had this problem, and we do use the hot water system in the process for odor control. When we get below 50 degrees water temperature, the material we're using, the peroxide, does not dissolve in water. It actually precipitates back out. So we're going to, we've been adding hot water to a mixing valve and keeping it around 65 to 70. And it's performed good, it's saved a lot of parts. And so we just want to get it this time where we know it's going to last and go back to what we had.
So I didn't have, that's it for discussion. We didn't have any other personnel issues unless anybody has questions. I don't believe we need to go into executive session for anything. The next proposed dates, you've got February 20th at 2 p.m. for the wastewater treatment plant workshop, water and sewer regular scheduled workshop, and then the regular water and sewer board meeting Monday, March 4th, and there goes April or February.
Either Ron or I will be at the March 2nd meeting.
March 2nd, you're out. All right.
So,
1, 2, 3, and I make the 3rd, so it's okay, right? All right. Florida? Yeah, must be nice, huh? Retirement.
It is.
It's
It is
great.
nice.
It's awesome.
you'll get there.
Send me a card. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.